Hi everyone, so today we are talking all about Ariana Grande, and Ariana Grande has really contrasting essence versus body type versus color type. So that means that her essence and the way that she kind of comes across is juxtaposing to her body type, and her color type also is, the colors that she looks good in, they are also kind of really very much affected by her body type. So she has a very complex color story, she has a complex body type and style story, color story, everything. And so I'm really excited to get into that. A lot of my clients will have things like this happen where, they have a contrasting body type and color type. Their color type is very, very much affected. Their best colors are affected by their body type, or they may have a body type that's very different from their essence. And so I find those cases to be so interesting. And a lot of the times it's more challenging to have a body type, color type, essence combination that is more juxtaposing. But at the same time, when those people really find their click point, when they really find that one style that really suits them, I think it can be so interesting and so unique to them, and really, really just really excellent on them. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this video. I hope you enjoy it. So here she has a pretty similar look, and you can see again, she has the high pony, of course, which kind of brings in that ingenue essence. It's a little bit cute, but then she also has that glamorous factor to her look that brings in romantic. So I think that the two essences really work beautifully together. But then what ties it all together is, of course, her face does have those cute elements, those ingenue elements, the big eyes, but she also has those romantic elements to her face, like the full lips and more womanly features in some ways. But overall, I would say she still looks quite youthful. And I would also say that she is, of course, she has that angularity. And so when she puts on things like this, it makes her look more youthful. And it all just comes together really beautifully for her. And here, you can see that she looks just fine in, with the long hair. And I think that the reason why she has to often put her hair up like that or do half up, half down like she does here is because as Mixed Soft has a really hard time doing long hair without it weighing them down. So that's actually one of the things that I recommend for Mixed Soft if they want long hair, if they really love long hair. Half up, half down, high ponytail, high bun, anything that will give the hair lift and it's not going to drag down your small bone structure. And so that looks really beautiful on Ariana. And of course here you can see that she is doing, again, so a lot of different elements. It looks like pretty much almost like a mixed top, almost flamboyant gamine elements, and that makes her look very feminine as a contrast, because she doesn't have a lot of frilly and soft things here. If she tends to wear more angular things, she can actually look more like womanly, more of a romantic almost. And that's because when she wears angular things as a contrast, she's going to look more womanly. But when she wears more womanly things, softer lines, soft fabrics, lightweight fabrics, all of these very womanly things, it's going to bring out her delicate angularity, and it's going to make her look more youthful, more teenagerish. So, depending on the look that she's going for, she can really play around with this a lot, and she often does. So here, the tousled hair and the smoky eye and everything is all, the hair looks really big on her, almost doll-like, because she does have a small bone structure, but it's intentional. And that's why I really really like this idea of using contrasting elements in your look. You don't, just because your body type, that doesn't mean that you have to follow your line recommendations to a T. Just knowing your body type is going to help you more accurately and more precisely do things in a way that's intentional. So this looks really excellent because it's intentional. She has the big hair and she's very small, and that looks intentional. It doesn't look like she tried to look like something different from how she is. And then of course she has the contrasting elements, the contrasting belt, and she has some thicker fabrics for the jeans. And here again, you'd say, oh well, she is, now look, she's rounded mixed, theatrical romantic, okay, because she looks so feminine and so delicate. But you have to remember that look at what she is wearing. As a contrast to what she's wearing, she looks feminine and delicate. Of course, she is feminine and delicate, but she's not rounded mixed. The reason why she looks more womanly here and more like a theatrical romantic is precisely because she has the tousled hair, and because she's wearing the stiffer fabrics, it's bringing out all of those softer features in her, and it's making her angularity almost look almost non-existent, you know, because of all of these like sort of contrasting elements that she's wearing. And again, here she looks warm and radiant. You know, she looks warm and radiant in pretty much every single photo. I mean, there are photos, of course, with artificial lighting, and that we can't really say anything about that, but she's certainly warm and radiant, and she's also olive. So yeah, so she looks really beautiful in pure black, in bright colors, you know, of course, and of course yellow gold. So here you can see how she looks completely washed out. Okay, I don't know how else to say it. She looks washed out. She does not look the absolute best that she could look. Okay, and I think it's the hair, you know, the blonde hair, the very, very lightened hair. That's more for mixed top, that's more for flamboyant gamine. Again, she is on a spectrum. Like, she's closer to rounded mix, she's closer to theatrical romantic. Like, some mixed soft will be closer to some, you know, soft gamine will be closer to theatrical romantic. Some of them will be closer to flamboyant gamine. That's just my opinion. You know, I know that a lot of people say no, there are just these distinct types. And I definitely kind of sympathize with that idea that, you know, you want to just hone in on a type and really express that type's lines. But in reality, that's not really how things are. And you are really, there is a spectrum of body types, you know. Yeah, I mean, there's no, these are tendencies and types, you know. This is not obviously like, let's do a genetic test and see which body type you are, you know. It's not like that. Okay, so anyway, so as you can see, so she looks washed out, yeah, and she also is doing the smoky eye, or like the dark eye makeup, which is helping, okay, but it's not helping enough. Okay, so she needs the contrasting colors. She cannot do the pastels. Of course, if she were round and mixed theatrical romantic, she also wouldn't be able to do this, because this would wash her out. This hair color would wash Salma Hayek out too. She really just, this hair color really washes her out a lot. Now, and the thing is that the difference between this and her other looks is that this does not look intentional. It does not look like she intentionally washed herself out, because she's wearing the dark eye makeup, you know. I don't think that she wants to be washed out, you know. I think that can be a look if you do it intentionally. Now, a lot of people, especially music artists, especially alternative music artists, will do all kinds of things, and it looks amazing because it looks intentional, and that's the key. That's the thing with knowing your body type and your color type and knowing what you're doing. As long as it looks intentional, in my opinion, it looks good. Really. You know, it really. The key is for it to look intentional. I think this does not look intentional. So here it becomes a different story, you know, because here it does start to, you know, the lighter hair starts to look a bit better because she has the darker roots, and that can really help a lot. Now, you know, because she needs some darkness to her hair because she naturally has those darker features, and so she is going to have a hard time with overly lightened hair because she also has angularity to some of her bone structure. So if you have angularity to some of your bone structure, no matter what your type is, I'm sure I'm going to miss some, you know, theatrical romantic, round and mixed, of course, dramatic, sharpened. Anyone like that, anyone who has any angularity, dramatic, classic, is going to have a very hard time with lightening their hair if their hair is naturally darker. And so she obviously has naturally darker hair, so she is going to have a hard time lightening it without it washing her out. And here, you know, you can also see, like, she is, the other thing with this hair, this especially, you guys, I have to go back to this because this is, honestly, this is so bad. Okay? And I think we all know it. We all know it. And the thing is that she's incredibly beautiful, obviously. But the fact, like, I don't know what this is. Like, is this supposed to be some sort of, like, clip from a movie where it's, like, she's gonna get a makeover? Or I don't know what this is, okay? I don't know what this is, but I don't know if this is from a music video. But, you know, especially the color of the sweater, too, you guys. Like, she's warm and radiant, so the color of the sweater just really doesn't do anything for her. You know, she has a lot of highlight, which it looks like she has, like, golden... I have my laptop. It looks like she has golden highlight on her nose, which actually I think is helping. Okay, but her hair is, like, it just looks really washed out and really thin, and she does better with hair that is actually really, like, thick and sort of, like, has some weight to it, you know, and of course darker. Okay, now I'm done with this photo. But here, you know, it's a little better, you know, it's an improvement on the previous, but the reason why I was reminded once again of that previous photo is because she's warm, okay? And so that hair, this hair in this photo is not warm enough for her, and I think that's why she looks just a little bit tired in this photo. I think it is too much harshness for her. I think a little bit of more glow to the skin, a little bit warmer hair, maybe there's something about her lip just being a little bit too heavy and neutral. You know, I think she ought to have maybe a little bit more of a glow or a gloss to her lip, not something like matte and heavy and neutral, you know, because she still has soft facial features. If you have soft facial features, it doesn't matter what your underlying bone structure is. If you have soft facial features, you probably you don't want to go completely dark, neutral, matte. Not 100%. You're either going to need, you know, on the one extreme, you may need even like bright colors and sparkles and everything in between. And you know, people like Ariana, they need a little bit of highlight, maybe they need a little bit of lightness, maybe the lip has a little bit of gloss, but they still have that smoky eye, they still have that a little bit of dynamic color to their makeup. And so here you can see, you know, again, like the hair color is it's not half bad, okay, but I personally would say like she just is much better off with the darker hair with maybe some like blonde highlights in it if she wants or something, but something like this where it's all just blonde, I think really washes her out. And so yeah, I mean, you can see here like the angularity to her bone structure and everything. You can see how petite and small she is, so she is, you know, makes soft. And I think, you know, she's wearing something that's more like for mixed top for flamboyant gamine, you know, and I think it's still it still kind of suits her. Like, it's certainly a look. It kind of suits her. Her hair, I mean, the overall look is certainly not how we know her to look, you know, but it's not something that you would think, oh, if you just didn't know her or how good she could look. This is the thing, though, is that I think when you really get your look down, it's like night and day difference for some people, and I think that this is it's like she doesn't look bad here necessarily. I don't think she looks that bad, okay? But knowing how good she could look, she looks really bad. Do you see what I mean? So I think that's what's happening. Like, if you saw her, you know, wherever it is that she's sitting, what is this, like in a waiting area somewhere, or whatever this is, if you just saw her in public, you would think, oh, well, you know, she has style, she's beautiful, like, you know, it's all good, like, I don't see the problem. But you don't see, that's right, you do not see the problem because you don't know how good she could look. Okay, but luckily, she does not always look like this. She does not always look like this either, luckily. But yeah, here, you know, you can see like the red really looks good on her, but again, the blonde hair doesn't work, you know, because it washes her out. And here, you know, luckily she is wearing some darker colors, but again, the blonde hair just doesn't work on her. And it just, honestly, you guys, if you get your hair right, that is like, and a lot of people say this, like, if you get your hair right, you can get away with a lot of other stuff being like off or weird. But if you get your hair right, and I would say your makeup, if you get your hair and your makeup right, or if you get your hair right and don't wear makeup, like, it's okay, you know, good enough, like, that's gonna really get you very far. But if you get your hair wrong, not much can really help you, and I think this is one of those situations. Yeah, I mean, see, with the hat, much better, okay? You need something dark on... Look, okay, if you are Ariana Grande and you are make soft, warm and radiant, high contrast, olive, and you have a romantic ingenue essence, and you dye your hair blonde, just put a hat on, at least that's dark, to, like, fix that, you know, and I think it's already better, you know what I mean, because she needs that darkness like around her face or near her face to frame her features. It's because of the angularity of some of her features, the delicate angularity of some of her features. So here I think she looks beautiful, you know, but I do think that in this photo, I'm not 100% sure in this video or not if that lip color is matte. So this is another thing, is that if she were round and mixed, she could wear like a sparkly, glossy, dewy red lip, you know. But if you're mixed soft, you are better off, if you're going to do a bright lip, to go matte. So you either want to go like a neutral lip that's glossy or a little bit shimmery or sparkly, or a bright lip that's matte. But doing both, like doing a bright lip that's also glossy, it's just too much for you. It's going to be too much like softness, too romantic, too rounded type lines. So yeah, I think she just looks beautiful here. Like, I love the bangs, you know, I love her eye makeup, I love her lip color, I love the color of the swimsuit. I guess it's a swimsuit. The swimsuit on her, like that bright fuchsia, is just beautiful on her. I love her hair color. I think it just all suits her so well. And here, you know, I love this as well, because I think that a lot of it is intentional. Like, I think that the earring being so large is intentional, you know, and she looks really small as a contrast, and I think that the hair being up looks really good on her. And I also would say that her makeup looks really good here. So, you know, I mean, it just really works well for her. You know, you can see here like that romantic essence, you know, she does have that very like sensual side. She looks really beautiful here. But if you actually look at what's going on, you know, she's wearing a lot of dark colors to kind of offset that, you know, the more soft look. You know, she does have more like stiffness to her hair, for example. She doesn't have, she has a smoky eye, she has a neutral lip. So you have to separate the style and the essence of the person, right, from their lives. So just because she looks like this, that does not make her a romantic type. You see, a rounded bone structure type, excuse me. So just because she looks like this, that doesn't mean that she's a rounded bone structure type necessarily. It means that she is a romantic essence, okay? And so here, you know, you can see like she looks really nice, I think, with like tousled hair and things like that. Like, I think that looks good on her. You know, overdone hair, really glamorous hair, really stiff hair can also look good on her, because it makes her look more childlike, and she has that ingenuine essence, so that can work well for her. Here, you know, she does look, I think this is like a really great example of what happens when she actually goes for more of those, you know, actually rounded lines, actually theatrical romantic lines. I would say that this does not exactly suit her body type. Like, I think that it does look good on her, and I think she does have a lot of softness to her, but she looks a little bit too, like, she looks a tiny bit too angular to be wearing that dress. You know, you would expect someone who has more softness to their physique, not even necessarily more curvy, because Ariana is pretty curvy, but just someone who just seems a bit more soft, or, you know, more womanly and not as youthful looking, to wear a dress with those elements, with like that much lace, that type of silhouette and everything, and then also the necklace like that. I think that look is a little bit too womanly for her, and she looks a little bit disconnected from it. And this, I think, is, you know, it's intentional. Like, this is kind of like a statement look, and I think it looks pretty good on her. And this is also really beautiful on her. You know, she is high contrast, but she also has skin that's tan enough that maybe, you know, I would actually put her into the dynamic contrast levels, because she does have skin that's tan enough that if she were to wear a lighter color, it contrasts with her skin. So that's what's happening here. You know, it's contrasting with her skin, and it's also picking up on her earrings, and, you know, contrasting, like, those are also contrasting with her skin. So she is in essence wearing a contrasting color, even though it's a pastel. So you have to understand, like, it's not that mixed soft can never wear pastels alone. If you have a darker skin tone, a dark enough skin tone, and you are mixed soft, you would look excellent in pastels, because that is a contrasting color for you. And so here again, like this type of look, I think it's just beautiful. I love her makeup here too. I think it's just so amazing. You know, I love the eye makeup on her, like the dark eye makeup and the emphasis on the eyes, and then the neutral lip. I think that just looks so beautiful, and like a little bit of glow to the skin. That's just perfect. So here, you know, I would say she does look really beautiful, and I know that this is supposed to be a pretty stylistic look, but at the same time, you know, it does look like she is wearing a costume, because she's actually wearing things that are more for a sharp and soft type, a soft dramatic, and she's really not even close to a soft dramatic, right? So, you know, she has a very small frame, she has very small bones, and if she wants, you know, this is the thing too, it's like she's probably going for like a power look here, right? Like she is standing at a podium, she is giving a spill. I mean, I think she is this a music video where she's president? I don't know. Yeah, she's president. And yeah, but the thing is that the outfit, I would say, just doesn't really do it for her, because if she wants to look like she has more gravitas, you know, she ought to really, in her case, it depends on the body type. For mixed soft, I would say just wear your own lines, actually, or maybe wear mixed taut lines, like wear flamboyant gamine, a little bit of flamboyant gamine elements, but wear your own lines, mixed soft, in very classic pieces. That's really going to give you the most gravitas. A lot of mixed soft types have problems with looking like a child when they do not want to look like a child. There's nothing wrong with, you know, looking more youthful. I think that can be a very beautiful look if that's what you want. But in this case, you know, if she's going for this kind of power look, like imagine if you're going to a job interview, or you're going to a business meeting or anything like that, or you're president and you're giving a speech. This just kind of makes her look more small and more like she's wearing a costume of a president rather than she is president. Do you see what I mean? So for her, you know, let's go over this. So, you know, the jewelry being very large is going to make her look smaller as a contrast, especially that huge pearl necklace. That's more for a soft dramatic. You know, she really has no business wearing that unless she's playing dress up, and she looks like she's playing dress up. You know, it's a music video, so it's fun, but you know, this is not fun all the time. You know, what if you don't want to look like you're playing dress up, okay? What if this is very serious? Like, what if you're going to close the deal in a business meeting? Like, what if you do not want to look like you're playing dress up? You want to be taken seriously. You know, there's a time and place for everything, right? And I think she looks absolutely beautiful. I personally love this look. I love playing dress up. I have nothing against it. But I know some people, they don't want to look like they're playing dress up, you know? And I think she really does look that way, and I think it's because, you know, she's not wearing her own lines. It depends, you know, if she intentionally was playing dress up, that would be great, and I would say she looks amazing. But because I really think she does look, it is really pretty flattering on her anyway. You know, that this is an example of how something can be flattering and something can look good, but if it's not intentional, it can be a little bit disconnected, you know. So yeah, something can still look good if it doesn't have the intentional effect, but maybe the person wearing it may be a bit frustrated because it doesn't have the intended effect. I think that's the case here. I think it looks really good. It's not like that awful sweater photo with the blonde hair. That looks bad. This looks good. It's just that I don't think it's the look she was going for. Yeah, but I think if she wore really her own lines in classic pieces, that's really where she's going to have the most gravitas. And so here, you know, she looks absolutely beautiful here. I really love it. You know, I love the hair pulled back, like the headband and everything. And she looks really feminine and really delicate. And, you know, I just think it looks really beautiful on her. And here, you know, she's wearing more of those like bright colors and everything, but this is more mixed taut. This is more flamboyant gamine, a flamboyant gamine type of look. So I personally like her in some softer looks. You know, I do like more softness on her, more fittedness, because she does have a lot of softness to her. But I would say not this much. So, excuse me, so not this much, because, you know, you can see here that this is a little bit too much for her. You know, she's not truly a rounded type. She's not truly a, you know, so-called romantic. You know, because this is a little bit too much on her, and I don't think that it's really like coming together. I just don't think it's coming together that well for her, you know. And I think if she were truly a rounded type or a rounded bone structure type, this would actually just be effortless on her. You know, I think she would have a harder time with more casual looks, and she would actually just feel like, oh, this is literally like not a problem for me to wear. Like, it's just Sunday night. What's the problem, you know? But yeah, here, of course, it's like perfect, right? We all know this is perfect. So, you know, like the contrasting eye makeup, the high ponytail, more of a youthful look, you know, and the lines are more animated, the bright colors. It's just perfect. I think she looks perfect here. Yeah, so I would say, yeah, so you can see the difference. You know, here I think it really suits her, and this is the thing, like, her beauty really comes out in looks like these, you know, and that's why this is her signature look. Her signature look is the high ponytail, a little bit youthful and fun and a bit sensual. Like, that's her look. That's her signature look, and it's her signature look for a reason, you know, because it all comes together just so beautifully for her. And I love her. I love her signature look. You know, I think we all know what it is, and I think it's excellent. And yeah, and I think yeah, it really suits her. It really comes together. So that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave some comments down below and let me know your thoughts on the video, on Ariana's style, and everything in between. If you have celebrities that you'd like to request, leave them in the comments down below, and I will talk to you next time. Okay, bye.